The true story of brilliant young con artist Barry Minkow is comparable to the narrative of Hollywood thrillers. An insolvent carpet cleaning firm was transformed by Mr. Minkow into a publicly traded corporation with a paper worth more than $200 million. He received a hero's welcome on Wall Street and was lauded in the media and on the Oprah Winfrey show. The fact that his firm hardly existed, however, was only noticed by a small number of people. Shocked? Then get ready to be more surprised. Stay tuned. Mr. Minkow was raised in Reseda, California, in a middle-class area. He established 4Z Best, a rug cleaning company, in his parents' garage in 1982 when he was just 16 years old. Except for the fact that he never actually managed a successful firm, he gave off the impression of being a role model young entrepreneur. At first, the business fought to stay alive. Minkow only managed to stay alive by stealing from family members, using stolen credit cards, and arranging burglaries and getting paid by the insurance company. When the business expanded into carpet restoration for insurance companies, it seemed to discover a way to earn a lot of money. Due to the company's apparent success, 4Z Best was able to go public in 1986, attaining a high market capitalization of $280 million. This seems unreal, right? He just ran at the speed of a rocket and took his company to the moon. But wait, there's more to come. When he needed money, Mr. Minkow opened a merchant account with a neighborhood bank in 1985, enabling him to take credit card payments. He contributed to make fictitious charges to his clients' credit card accounts for the following few years whenever he needed money to get quick cash from the bank. If a client complained, Mr. Minkow put the forgeries down to dishonest staff, made good and continued. With a little assistance from his buddies, an odd group of retainers, he raised money falsely when he wasn't outright robbing people. To verify 4Z Best's business operations, he assisted in creating interstate appraisal services, a fictitious business of which he put his odd friend Thomas Padgett as the owner and operator. To rehabilitate properties destroyed by fire and water, Mr. Minkow persuaded bankers and investors that he had secured sizable contracts from insurance companies. Mr. Padgett, a bodybuilder who collects guns and has a soft spot for Hitler and SS jewelry, confirmed the employment, while a vice president of 4Z Best falsified all the paperwork and contracts. The restoration service was an entirely new concept. Interstate Appraisal Services, a fictitious business founded by Minkow, pretended to be 4Z Best's customer. Minkow used a Ponzi-style scheme to transfer money between bank accounts and borrow money from several questionable sources to keep the firm afloat. Banks were persuaded by this fraud to give him loans large enough to cover the costs of an advertising campaign as well as the near call on taking over KeyServe. 4Z Best made its Wall Street debut in December 1986. Mr. Minkow's shares were worth $64 million by March, and by May they were worth $110 million. Daniel Axt, a former reporter for the Los Angeles Times, started learning about Mr. Minkow's credit card theft as the stock was rising. He published an article with the title "Behind WizKid is a Trail of False Credit Card Billings" on May 22, 1987, and the value of 4Z Best stock dropped by 28% the next day. The Los Angeles Times released the article revealing that Minkow had previously been charged with fraud totaling $72,000 and was still refusing to reimburse some victims. Banks withdrew their credit lines as a result, and the investment bankers in charge of the KeyServe acquisition compelled an urgent postponement. At the same time, it was discovered that numerous significant restoration contracts reported to have been secured by 4Z Best were fake. By July, Minkow had resigned as CEO. A year later, he was found guilty of several charges of fraud and sentenced to prison. Mr. Minkow was found guilty on 57 charges of fraud in December 1988 and given a 25-year prison term. Investors had lost more than $100 million by the time the fraud was exposed fully. 4Z Best shareholders lost everything due to the bankruptcy, although they did get a $35 million settlement from the company's auditors, Ernst & Winnie. Investors are stunned. 4Z Best cost $7 million in losses. Another Miami-based Leonard Weinstein said that he purchased 500 4Z Best shares for $8.25 and 500 warrants at $5. Even after being accused of stealing money from clients of his prior company, his chief financial officer continued in his position. Minkow, on the other hand, didn't appear to learn his lesson as he was imprisoned for insider trading in 2011. Mr. Axt said correctly that Barry wasn't just a thief, he had mocked the very idea of business. So what do you think of Mr. Minkow? Don't forget to tell us in the comments below. Thanks for watching.